Katie and Joe, are you guys in Roll20?
I can't get it to load on my computer, remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We were going to troubleshoot that.
I think we still never actually entered any of your stuff.
I know. I thought that's what the DM was supposed to do.
No, technically you were supposed to do it, but fine.
We talked about this. I feel like that was the perk of like dating.
Yeah, we did talk about it. But you wrote all your stuff down in like a notebook somewhere, and I do not have access to that, so I can't really do that.
I don't know where we put it.
I didn't put it anywhere. Again, you wrote it down in a notebook somewhere.
Well, it's my fault, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it is.
All right, just so you know, it's recording now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just we'll do like last time. We'll kind of make up your stuff as we go along.
Yeah.
I remember vaguely like what some of yours were. So we'll be.
I remember I was really into having spot hidden.
Yeah, and there's like 1 or 2 roles that you might be good at this time. I also want to remind everybody, I kind of forgot about it last time until like the very end, that if you're successful on a roll, you can click that little check mark.
Oh, neat.
And when we get to like a good little section ending, I'll let everyone try and like level that stuff up.
Okay.
Because there's no like traditional levels in this game. You just improve your skills by successfully using them. And it's easier to increase a skill if you have like if you're lower in that skill and you're successful at it, you know, it's much easier to move up. It's intuitive. It makes sense. So when we hit kind of probably at the end of this one, there's a fair chance I'll have everyone level that stuff up.
So it looks like I have stuff check marked on mine. I guess I must have done that at the end.
End of last time, yeah.
Yeah.
So just leave all that stuff check marked.
Okay.
And then, like I said, when we get to like the end of legs, I'll be like, okay, let's check our check marks. Let's do our rolls for that stuff.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I know it's been a fair bit. So just as a refresher,
Recap.
for last time, yeah. Does everyone want to remind everybody?
Yes, last time all the horror of the Orient Express.
Previously on episode 1.
Does everyone want to remind everybody of their names and what we know about everybody so far?
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
I don't have access to D20. I don't remember what my last name was. It was something French.
I
know I'm Zelda.
Yeah. Lisette.
I wrote some stuff.
Yeah,
down.
Katie, do you want to go first?
Oh, I'm Zelda.
What do we know about you?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm an anthropology professor of anthropology. I like to go places where there are velvet ropes.
Yeah. And be obnoxious to cops and...
This week I'm going to try and be more respectful.
Yeah. All right, Joe.
My character's name is Dickie Bassett. You know that he is kind of a mysterious, very slight man with a pencil mustache in a suit. A little aggressive. Doesn't really talk much. I don't know that I told you guys that, did I?
I don't think he did.
No.
I don't think you said anything, but it was sort of inferred by, like, we found out that you were hired.
I've been hired on to look after the professor. Obviously, I failed at that. And I don't know if you remember, but after looking at his face, after what happened to him, I think he's a bit crazy.
Yeah, you were driven slightly more insane.
A little bit.
Oh, sorry, Brian, are you going to recap what happened?
I will, yeah. I just wanted to,
your individuals.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna let everyone like reintroduce themselves in a little bit, so we all kind of remember. Andrew.
My name is Connor Branson. I am the Irish bartender, and kind of a not so much fast talking, but more, I guess, more. I have a lot in the charm department. Yeah.
Shake, 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 shake. Do you have your shaker with you?
And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of my guy. I'm always in a nicely tailored, not tailored suit, but a nice like bartending garb, like that's nicer. So that's about it.
If we remember from last time too, Connor used to bartend at the bar that Professor Smith and all his paranormal research buddies used to frequent. So he's sort of a personal friend, kind of.
Yeah.
All right, Adam.
All right, my name is Ebenezer Montague. I'm a London city councillor, so a politician. Well-dressed, smooth talker, somewhat of a sleazy vibe being given off. I think that's all that's been communicated thus far.
That's about right. You have a car and a driver named.
Yes.
Has a car. Has wheels.
Yeah.
That's important. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So last time, everyone had been invited in one way or another to the Challenger Lecture Series at the National History Museum of London. We found that Professor Smith has recently decided to get into or disclose some of the research he's done on paranormal research. He showed everybody some videos and pictures of something he called hauntings that were related to disappearances and reappearances of things through time. And then after the lecture was over, everyone got to talk for a little bit. Remember that Dickie saw a mysterious man watching them, like a sort of dark, mysterious man. And later, the professor very suddenly leaves the conversation. You guys didn't manage to catch up with him. When you made it to the residence that he had given you, it had been burnt down. The next morning, you guys got a note from the professor asking you to meet him at another location. When you got there, you met Beddoes, his valet, and when you met Professor Smith again, he had been horrifically burnt. Had scars across his face and bandages. And then he proceeded to ask the four of you to go get to the Orient Express so that you could find the pieces of a statue called the Sedefkar Simulacrum that held some sort of dark power. And then proceeded to hand you a briefcase just chock full of money. And that is basically where we started. There's also, you guys still should have access to various newspaper clippings that you may or may not have noticed last time. And yeah, so as of right now, the four of you have just left Professor Smith's little dingy flat that he and Beddoes were currently in. And you have free reign. What would you like to do?
How long do we have until the train leaves?
It is the train that will take you down to, and I can't remember where it leaves from now. The train that will take you down to the coast that will get you in the city you need to get to Paris leaves in like 3 days. So you have roughly 3 days with which to kind of get whatever affairs in order you need to, or do any investigating that you would like to do before you leave.
Okay. So, what time is it? It's like late at night, right?
You guys left pretty quickly in the morning, so I'd say it's probably about 10 a.m.
I'm going to call my supervisor and appraise her of the situation.
Right. If you want to go back to your hotel, you can send a telegram.
Oh, right. It's old times.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really have a cell phone. It's 1920.
Let me FaceTime him real quick.
Yeah, page him on his beeper.
Unless anybody else has stuff that they want to do as a group right now, immediately outside the professor's house, I'm going to...
I can't think of anything that we need to do together at the moment.
Are we all agreed that we're going on this trip?
Together?
Yeah,
I think we did agree.
I think we did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the consensus seemed that everybody had sufficient motivation to want to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can point you guys in the right direction.
do you think we should go back and investigate the fire again, or that's probably we won't really find anything there.
Yeah, if you remember, you guys looked through the burnt down building last time and didn't really find anything of note. There were no bodies or anything there. It seemed pretty sufficiently burned down.
I'll be right back since I've pretty much lined out what I'm going to do. I'm sorry. Please excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll probably go get my affairs in order and like the bar that I work at and everything, and just kind of give them a notice.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that and say that I need to take a holiday.
Okay.
But that's what I'll do after we leave from the group setting. So I'm still around if y'all want to do something.
Do we all walk here?
I
would say that everybody found transportation one way or the other. Again, Adam, you're the only one with a car, so everybody else probably got a taxi.
I know I had a driver the night before, but I don't remember if I came here with my driver.
I don't think we discussed it. I think that would be reasonable. So let's say that Alfred is waiting in the car.
Oh, Alfred.
Okay, so I would turn to Ebenezer then and be like, would you mind giving me a ride back to my hotel?
Why, certainly. So, yeah, my objective here would be to go and tell my staff, my counselor staff, about this undisclosed business trip I'll be making. Present it vaguely as a need to. Check in with some other dignitaries, but not tell any of my lackeys exactly what I'm up to. Other than that,
that's reasonable. You're not in session currently, so it's not a huge deal that you're not there.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yes, I'd be happy to give Zelda a ride.
Okay. So you take Zelda back. So Zelda, you're at your hotel now, and Ebenezer, you go off and you're at your office, I guess. So I guess everybody went off and did their own thing. Just for the sake of brevity, we can say all of that happens.
Yeah. Montage.
Ebenezer, your staff is okay with that. Zelda, your hotel. Diggy successfully sends a telegram.
Do I have anything, like any messages? I'm going to check to see if I have any messages.
Okay. The only things, the only like notes and stuff, you don't have any messages left for you at the hotel. When you go back inside, you do remember that you had your newspaper open to a particular page. and I guess you don't have access to it. Let me see if I can. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay. I'll just text it to you.
So I'm trying to remember, did we all get that newspaper at our respective residences this past morning?
Yeah, it happened just a couple hours ago. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, that article came out this morning.
Okay.
There's also, you could go to a number of different places from here. You could, say, for instance, you could go to, you do know that, remember when you guys went to the burned down building, you met the arson investigator. You know, there's a couple of different places you could go to.
Was that Inspector Fleming? Or
Yes.
That was Inspector Fleming? Okay.
He was the man that you met.
Okay. We could go to Scotland Yard and just inquire to see what they found, I guess. Or I don't know, I just feel like a ragtag Scooby-Doo adventures, like going in and asking about something would be a little suspicious, though.
It's up to you guys.
So would Inspector Fleming be an employee of the city?
Yeah, because he is so Scotland Yard is like the big major police station in London. So yeah, he'd be a municipal employee.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say back at my office, I'd try to call Scotland Yard, his department or what have you, and see if he's available to talk or if anyone else on his team, as it were, has further information on that story from this morning.
Okay. So you go ahead and ring up Scotland Yard, and on the other end, a receptionist picks up. Scotland Yard, how can I help you?
Hello, this is Counselor Montague. Is Inspector Fleming available?
You know, he's not right now. He's out and about. Is there? Can I ask what this is? What this is regarding?
I don't suppose any of his colleagues would be available either, are they?
There are certainly plenty of inspectors here at the station.
I'm just calling to learn more about this morning's story on the investigation regarding Mr. Macariat. Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Oh yes, the Macariat man. That's been that's certainly stumped us.
Has there been any further development since the story was published?
Not currently.
And the real Mr. Macariat is still yet to be found?
Yes, we have no idea where to find him. Although he's all of his neighbors say he hasn't been in. He hasn't been at home.
Well, I'd appreciate if you could let Inspector Fleming know to contact me with any further developments on this inquiry. I'd be very curious to learn more as it becomes available.
I will absolutely leave him that message, although I warn you, I don't know when he'll be in. He's been very busy lately.
Oh, she's so cute.
All right. I think that's the end of the conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry. So I didn't role play the end of that.
Talking to a real human being with real feelings.
You're a prop to me.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to this train ride. I'm getting all my stuff prepped, and I got my backpack, and that's what I'm doing.
I just want to montage forward to the train ride, but I know that's not a good idea from previous conversations.
Where is the Chelsea Arms Hotel relative to?
The Chelsea Arms Hotel is actually pretty close to the museum. It's where Dickie is staying.
Oh, okay.
What hotel?
I can only imagine that if that's where we're meeting up, I'll be in the bar.
Okay,
Like I can't imagine what else I would do to prepare.
that makes sense to me.
Not getting hammered, just looking around.
Yeah, I think I'd like Alfred
Okay, so Dickie's
to try to talk with the maids referenced in this story.
Gotcha. Okay, so you pull up to the hotel. It's not a big hotel, and it's kind of crappy. But it's well known. It's in a central part of the city, so it's not inexpensive, certainly. So I guess you go inside.
Yeah, go inside. I'll look for the front desk, which I imagine is at the front.
Sir, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Counselor Montague. I was wondering if anyone from your hospitality staff would be available to discuss the case of Mr. Macriot.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. We're not at liberty to talk about that. The police have told us specifically not to say anything about it.
Oh, I'm sure I can speak with Sergeant fill in the blank to receive the necessary security clearance.
Well, that's true. I'm sure. Go and give me a fast talk.
Okay, remind me how to do that.
So you just go to your character sheet and down in your skills, you say fast talk. There's a little button to click.
The green button?
Oh yeah, you definitely. Oh, that last one, the stealth one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That stealth roll was mine. I was just trying to familiarize myself with it. That's a success, right? We want to get low as we can.
Yeah, because so the percentile system works. You want to roll as low as possible. You want to roll because the higher your skill is.
That roll was actually the hide from Adam. Just because I want to stay inconspicuous. So that roll was actually to stay hidden.
I gotcha. Okay, so the hotelier says, you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure you could talk to somebody. That would be fine. He goes back into the back, and you sort of see him on the phone, ringing up one of the maids. And then he comes back and says, someone will be right with you.
Thank you so kindly.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that'll be all.
Okay. You wait a few minutes, and a woman in a maid's uniform comes down and is kind of like looking around, and then comes over behind the desk, and she and the hotelier sort of talk in the back for a couple minutes, and then she comes out to the desk. Hi, what can I help you with?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Ebenezer. I was wondering if you could tell me more about what you found this morning regarding the case of Mr. Matriarch.
Oh, yes, that was dreadful. Well, when I came in upon them this morning, he was dead. And
Did anyone else see him?
well, myself and the police, obviously. But no, just me. You wouldn't have wanted to see him.
And he was the only one deceased? There was no one else in his room?
No, just Mr. Macriat or whoever he was. Yeah, I read the paper. They said they found 3 of them. I don't understand what that meant.
Yes, it's terribly unusual. Were the police able to identify him on the scene as who he claimed to be?
Well, he had identification that said he was Mr. Macriat. Outside of that, I don't know. Yes, in his wallet.
But he was too disfigured to tell by his face?
He didn't have one. And she sort of like breaks into tears.
I put my hand on her shoulder to console her, but to try to keep her talking. His face was gone?
It had been taken.
He was beheaded?
No. Not
Just the
beheaded.
face.
Just the skin was gone.
Oh. Okay, I would want here to ask her questions that basically, try to deduce whether this was the same appearance that Professor Smith had, but I can't remember the details of how Professor Smith looked.
Professor Smith had kind of bandages all over his face. So the only bits you saw were kind of like the bits peeking out from behind bandages. So it was hard to get like a really good look at him.
But he was still recognizable.
I mean, as far as you could tell.
Okay, well, I guess I say to the maid, I'm so sorry to make you relive this, but thank you for sharing your story with me. And I leave her be.
It's okay. I told the police everything I knew.
And so now, feeling sort of unsettled, I look for the bar in the hotel.
Okay.
Get a drink.
That's reasonable.
I'm not actively hiding from him at this point.
Okay. So you head for the hotel bar, and lo and behold, who do you see sitting at the bar? But your good friend Dickie, who's still dressed in the suit he was wearing yesterday, and I guess this morning.
I would say at this point I've probably gotten cleaned up and stuff.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry, I didn't make that clear. I'd say at this point I've probably just been hanging out in the bar, nursing something and trying to remain inconspicuous, so I wouldn't want to be too disheveled.
Okay.
And I would not be wearing my head inside Catherine.
Zelda! Okay, Zelda.
You see Dickie sitting at the bar, kind of by himself.
Dickie, fancy finding you here.
Oh, hello, Senator. How's tricks?
Did you read the newspaper this morning?
I did indeed. I hold up my copy.
And so you heard of the case of Mr. Matriak in this very hotel?
Yes. Yes, I was aware of Mr. Matriak and his twins, apparently.
I'll point out, Joe, you also found another newspaper article interesting, that one more directly about Dr. Smith.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a while, so I forgot. I apologize.
You're fine. It was talking about...
Is that newspaper 2?
Huh?
Is that newspaper 2?
Yeah, newspaper 2. Yeah,
I would share that information with His Excellency.
So let me...
I would kind of just, not throw, but I would toss it on the table in front of him and ask him if he'd seen this.
No, I haven't.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me share it.
And Adam, that'll be newspaper clip number 2. I can read it if you want.
No, it's good. I just shared it.
I got it.
On Google Hangouts or on D20?
D20.
On Roll20. I just say, it looks like Mr. Smith isn't as stealthy as he wishes. Somebody noticed he was missing.
Do we already know of this James Beddoes, or is this news to me?
Beddoes,
Is that the guy?
you remember
That
the
was
name of...
that was his manservant last night, right?
That's the valet.
Yeah,
Okay.
a couple hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. Oh goodness, I had no idea this had been made so public. Has anyone tried to contact you about our encounter with Mr. Smith this morning?
No, I've made myself pretty scarce. I'm trying not to attract attention.
That's probably wise. I didn't realize the level of visibility this system had.
And at this point, I would share the guy that I saw the night of, the very generic-looking man in the turban who kind of scowled at me.
Yeah.
That I tried to hide from.
Right. So what you remember about was that he was sort of like a darker-skinned man, just a really big, dark, black mustache.
Yeah, and I'd share that with him.
Yeah, as you guys were talking, he was like staring right at the group of you. You made eye contact, and then he sort of blended in the crowd. You didn't see him.
And then I would also share the fact that Smith thought he was being followed by somebody who looked like that, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that was the only time you saw him was at the museum bar.
He looked Turkish to you?
Sure, if you like.
Interesting.
If you also remember, Joe, one of the things that Beddoes and the scarred Dr. Smith said to you was that he had been hounded by Turkish madmen on his way back from Constantinople or Istanbul.
I didn't remember, and yes, I think that's what I was probably meaning, that you thought he was being stalked. I took it to mean I just followed, but okay.
When you received your initial instructions, it said that he had been stalked, but later on, when you talked to him directly, he sort of changed his tune a little bit. So if you remember, when you were at the museum, he kind of played it off like it was nothing, but when you met him the next day, or I guess this morning, he had changed his story a little bit.
Okay. I'd share that as well.
Ryan.
Yeah.
So I think I know that I wouldn't have any reason to go to the that hotel again,
Probably not.
but yeah, not at all. But what I was kind of going over is this Dr. Mason. I want to see if I can find him because apparently I was supposed to give him that Kentucky whiskey from Zelda.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to get that from him.
Yeah, and you decided to meet up later to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that, I guess.
Okay. As the rest of this is happening, Zelda, you're just at your hotel, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I don't really know anybody, like, in town, right?
No.
Besides the professor, so I don't really have, like, a reason
You were
to...
invited, yeah, you were invited specifically by the professor to attend the lecture. You don't really have any friends in town or anything, aside from him.
Yeah.
So as you're waiting at your hotel, you hear a knock on the door.
So I go up to the door and I...
No problem. No problem. You can also open cabinet now. Uh-oh. Really? Uh-oh.
Okay, you go to the door.
Do we have peepholes at this point?
Sure.
I feel like they do, yeah.
Yeah.
So I look, I'm feeling a bit, like, cautious. I'm not just gonna, like, swing open the door. So I look.
Okay.
So
You look at the people, and you don't really see anything.
Oh, great. Does it have one of those, like, lock things?
Yeah, you have a chain lock.
Okay, a chain lock. Okay, so I unlock the knob part, but I keep the chain lock locked. I open it, and I just kind of peek out.
Okay, you peek out, and it's a little boy, and he's in a little uniform.
Not a ghost, right?
I mean, as far you don't know, as far as you can tell. It looks
Okay.
Like
Okay, so I say, hello.
Hi, miss. And he thrusts out his hand, and it's like a little telegram.
So I take it from him and I say, thank you, and then close the door.
He sort of has his hand out and looks disappointed when you close the door.
And give him a piece of gum.
Wow.
He might be a ghost. I don't know. I'm feeling very
He
just
successfully takes the gum from you and walks away.
Yeah, he's a kid. I mean, if I was a kid, I'd be like, all right, gum. Like,
Wow.
it is
Oh,
not
gum,
my
great. This will keep me from starving tonight.
No! I don't know that he's not a ghost or sent to kill me or something.
Aren't you supposed to be rich?
They're like face played and it's just crazy up in here.
Okay, so if you look at the telegram, it is addressed to you, and it says it's from Inspector Fleming, and it just says need to give a statement at Scotland Yard. Stop.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so obviously I'm a little nervous about this because I don't want to.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Not I'm a mistake. Not Fleming. Oh, what's his name?
Murky Hat?
Rigby, Inspector Rigby. That's who you met.
Rigby. Okay. So I mean, obviously I'm a little like taken aback, like, ugh. But I go ahead and kind of put my coat back on, look around, decide to leave my stuff there, and then I walk out to the hotel front desk and I ask for a taxi.
Okay. A taxi arrives and it's supposed to take you there. Connor, what were you doing?
I wanted to track down Dr. Mason to give him that whiskey and also talk to him a little bit more about, I guess, his research.
Do you mean Smith? Dr. Mason was the guy who employed you. Dr. Smith was the guy who gave the lecture and all that.
Oh, then yes, Dr. Smith.
Okay. You still remember where you met him this morning? It's been like 3-4 hours since then, so I'd say it's probably about 2 in the afternoon. You want to take a taxi back to the little flat?
Yeah.
Okay. So you, it's
Wasn't he like high on morphine when we left?
When you left, he had fallen asleep.
Okay.
He hadn't been given any medication or anything. There wasn't a doctor there, but Beddoes had told you that a doctor was coming. So, Connor, you get in a taxi, and you remember exactly where you were going, so you go right there. And now you're outside that sort of crappy one-room flat.
Okay. Shit. I regret taking a taxi now. Can I retcon that to just walk there? Because that's what I did originally.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to walk there. So
It's not real all that far for you, so it's not like
yeah.
It's about a 30-minute walk, we'll say.
Yeah. Okay. So I get there and I want to just kind of survey the flat like from the outside, just kind of poke around and see if there's anything out of the ordinary, but trying to stay inconspicuous.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden.
Is it the green one?
Yeah, should be. Oh, it changed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You look around, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. It seems to be just sort of a crappy little plant.
Okay.
You could go through the trash or down like one of the little alleys a little bit, but you don't really see anything that piques your interest.
Okay. All right, I'll go back up to the flat and rap on the door.
Okay. After about 30 seconds, you kind of wait for about 30 seconds, and then the door opens, and there's a man standing there. He's sort of in a relative state of undress. He's got like a wife beater on. He's got like dark, kind of slicked hair. He's like, "Oi, what do you want?"
It's not Beddoes?
Who's Beddoes?
I was looking for Dr. Mason. Not Dr. Mason. God damn it.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah, Dr. Smith. Is he about?
Do I look like a fucking doctor to you?
No, you certainly don't.
All right, man. Stop wasting my time.
Wait, hold on. I could have sworn there was someone here in this flat not too long ago. But you know, kind of a burn victim or something of the sort, all bandaged up.
Do I look burnt to you? I live here.
Oh my God, you were the worst at secrets.
Yeah, pretty much. Not so smart.
It's like, let me go. It's like too much.
I guess I will.
She'll go and she'll crawl, and all of a sudden she'll go, done, and she's going to be home.
Let me think.
Seriously, like, what are you doing?
No, I say, okay, well, I must have the wrong address. Good day.
All right, man. And you he closes the door. And
right.
You like clink, locked shut.
I'm gonna walk down the alley and just kind of hang out.
Okay. You're just gonna wait there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait there. I'm gonna reevaluate why I'm here.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. Ebenezer.
Sorry, what?
So what are you guys doing? Yeah, don't tell you.
Yeah, I guess so. After reading the second newspaper article that Dickie just showed me, I became a little less gung-ho about running around and playing detective. So I'm at the bottom of a glass of old-fashioned, whatever they drink.
Okay.
Probably not old-fashioned, actually. Gin.
All right. Zelda, you arrive at Scotland Yard. You get out, and it's this sort of very large but like very flat square building. And yeah, over the door says Scotland Yard.
Yeesh. Okay, so I get out of the taxi and I go inside.
Okay. Inside, there's what is very clearly like a reception desk. There's an officer standing there. Kind of, you can see behind him some officers moving around. They're going about their business. And the officer at the desk kind of looks at you, bored.
Hello. I received this telegraph to speak with Officer Rigsby.
Do you mean Rigby? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
right.
yes, Rigby.
All right, let me get him. He wanders off. A couple minutes later, the police officer you met last night, the one who jumped out of the car and ran to flag all of you out of the house, he shows up and he says, like, "Oh, I remember you. All right, let's get this over with." And he kind of directs you down a hallway and into a small room. It's got a table, a chair on either side. And he directs you to one of the chairs and closes the door.
I'm a little confused why I've been called here. Are charges being brought against me?
No, of course not. There are no charges yet.
Yes.
We just have to do our due diligence. You know, we show up to a possible crime scene and there's someone standing there. We have to.
Do I seem like a violent criminal to you, officer?
No, you seem like a crazy person. That's what you seem like to me.
Based on what evidence?
Based on the evidence that you didn't follow the directions of a police officer. Sit down, please.
At what point?
Sit down.
It's nice to see you're being so diplomatic this time.
All right, I suppose I will. Sit down.
Okay. He sits down in the chair opposite you. Okay. He takes out a little notepad, and he says, "All right, tell me what you were doing there yesterday."
I mean, none of this is going to be put in the papers without my consent, is it?
What? It won't be put in the papers unless I deem it necessary to be put in the papers.
Well, I see you writing things down. I don't want to be quoted out of context.
I am a detective. We take notes.
I mean, that's lovely and all, but I have a very prestigious position at a university, and I don't want...
Look, fine. I don't think you know anything anyway, but if we have to do this, please let's get this done.
All right.
What were you doing there yesterday?
Where specifically?
At the residence of Dr. Smith.
Dr. Smith is a colleague of mine. He had invited me to town to see his speech at the National History Museum.
Sure. All right. What time did you go visit the museum then?
I mean, I couldn't say for sure. I wasn't taking constant notes on my meetings.
You remember that the lecture was meant to start at like 8 p.m.
Okay, so sometime around 8.
Right, that's fine. What were you doing around 6 p.m. then?
I was most likely just arriving into town and in my hotel room.
Can anyone corroborate that?
I assume anyone who works at the hotel could corroborate that, if they were taking notes at the time.
What hotel are you staying at then?
Whoa.
Just make it up.
Fairies Hollow.
That's the name of a hotel, sure. Good one.
Leon Fun Plaza.
That's good.
The
Very
best
odd.
Western Inn. The best Western Inn.
Yes.
That's
Laquita.
Motel 8.
oh sure yes. Best Western. I'm familiar with that one.
They have the red tiles on the roof. Very, very classy.
That's true. Okay, we'll have to follow up on that then.
By all means.
So you say you're a colleague of Dr. Smith. What
Yes.
sort of work are you in?
Generally anthropology.
What does generally anthropology mean?
Well, we're undergoing many different research papers at the moment, and I wouldn't want to disclose any information that could get into the wrong hands and therefore undermine the newness of the information that we may
Where
or
do
may
you
not
work?
at a university.
Which one?
Harvard.
That's not where you work.
I don't have my stuff.
You remember we decided you work at Miskatonic?
Oh, cut and paste. I work at Miskatonic U.
Sure. And that's in Boston, right?
Cambridge, to be specific.
Okay, that's fine. I guess he sits and he thinks for a minute. You didn't have any further relationship with the doctor?
I don't know what you're implying.
I'm not implying anything. I'm just asking for clarification.
Why don't you just go ahead and ask what you want to know?
I think that answers my question. Were you familiar with his previous work in Turkey?
Yes.
Are you affiliated with any Turkish people?
That seems a bit racist, don't you think?
Is there a question in this case?
I mean, when you meet people, every time you meet someone, do you ask them where they're from? I may or may not be familiar with several Turkish people.
All right. Okay, I guess you're free to go.
Will I be called upon later?
If it deems necessary, but frankly, probably not.
Will anything be used against me in the court of law?
Anything you say can and will be. And he opens the door for you to leave.
Oh, well, this has been a fascinating adventure. Thank you.
This has been fucking fun.
Yes, Mr. Eleanor Rigby.
I don't know what that means.
We will one day.
So yeah, he allows you to leave.
Okay, good.
If you head back to the front desk, the guy at the desk say, yes.
Will he oh, never mind. I don't have parking. I'll ask the guy at the front desk to call me a taxi, please.
Yes, fine, man. I can call you a taxi. He goes in. He calls you one.
Many thanks.
Okay. As you're waiting for the taxi, Inspector Rigby comes running back out at you, and he says, "I have to follow up on one thing. Have you ever heard of a Mehmet Makriyat?"
Low key, have I?
No.
Sidebar.
I mean, you read the paper, but
Wait. No. I don't believe I could say that I have for sure. but it does sound amusing. Please do go on.
All right. And then he leaves.
Doesn't even tell me. I might have heard of it. I just need a little.
That's not what you said. So.
Terrible at interviews.
Yeah. A few minutes later, the taxi ordered arrest.
Hooray! What if I wanted to go to the bar and have a drink?
At someone else's hotel.
I don't know where else to go.
Okay.
I mean, that is where we're all meeting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's
Maybe I
2.5 days from now.
Blow off some steam.
You could just get there 2.5 days early.
Maybe I'll just stay at a different. No, that's the hotel where people got. No, I don't know.
I will say that hotel bars are fun. I'm speaking from personal experience. There's one around the corner from where I live, and I go there all the time.
Yeah, I think that hotel bars can be fun, especially if you're not from the city. It's a little bit safer.
Okay, sure.
That's true, and if you start talking shit, then you can't get kicked out of a hotel you're not staying at.
Ew.
All right, you head to the Chelsea Arms, and you go to the bar in there, and immediately you notice Dickie and Ebenezer sitting there.
Oh, hello, gentlemen.
I'm a little drunk.
Oh God, stealth roll.
Oh, snap.
Get it.
I don't say that. I just think that. But whatever the 20s can read.
Are you trying to hide from her?
I just hold up my paper. I'm sitting right next to him, but I just hold my paper up.
All right, hold on. Let me do an opposed.
I don't really want it to succeed. I'm just being an ass to her.
Okay. All right.
Come join us for some weekday afternoon libations.
Yeah.
Or however you say day
You
drinking.
know what they say. It's 5 in the afternoon somewhere.
That's right. That is what they say.
It's getting closer and closer to 5 p.m. the longer it goes.
So, what have you been up to today?
Oh, you know, the usual meta young boy. No, that doesn't make sense.
Tell me more.
Scratch that. I was called down to Scotland Yard, believe it or not.
Scotland Yard
Scotland Yard, indeed.
with Inspector. Hold on, I can't remember these things. Fleming.
Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, Inspector Rigby. I didn't realize he was on that case.
Apparently, he had many questions for me. He wanted to know about my personal relationships. I thought he was very forward.
Your relationships with whom?
Oh, I'm not at liberty to discuss such information.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
But it should be noted that he was a bit unprofessional, if I do say so myself.
oh, it's duly noted. I'll let his supervisor be aware.
You're going to get a perfect innocent police inspector fired.
What? Wait, what did Joe say?
I said you're going to get a perfectly legitimate police inspector fired.
I don't know that he was perfectly legitimate.
He's literally doing his job.
He could have been a little more, I don't know the right word, not as intense, less intense.
He's a cop.
I know, but I'm not like a criminal, obviously.
Is it obvious?
I'm clearly not clever enough to be a criminal master.
You were at a crime scene.
Yeah, I had a personal-ish relationship with a person.
Did this Inspector Rigby mention anything to you about Mr. Macria?
No, but he mentioned another M name that I wasn't familiar with, but he sounded very concerned about it.
That was who we mentioned.
Okay, then yes.
Nice pronunciation.
I inquired about my relationship with the Turkish people. So that was altogether quite strange.
Oh. Well, did you know that one of the multiple Mr. Makriat's remains were found in this very building?
Oh, goodness.
Having a haunting conversation with the hospitality ladies about
Oh,
him.
goodness. This does not bode well for my string of alibis that now I'm at a second crime scene.
Don't you worry about alibis. I take care of these sorts of things.
Oh, you're so kind of me.
This is my city.
I can tell you run it well.
That's not all I run well. Remember, drunk.
Yeah. That's right, because you're sipping straight gin.
Straight gin.
Make a guess.
Did Inspector Rigby say where he was off to next?
No, he was not very forthcoming with me. Although he expected me to be so, which I found a bit irritating.
Should at least reciprocate.
I know. Build a rapport. How are you going to get people to confess to you if you can't even befriend a professor?
A very valid point.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I guess it's reasonable that all of the information has been shared between the three of you at the very least. Probably you should have access to other stuff. I guess
I'm not gonna metagame. Like,
yeah.
I'm still in the alleyway.
I'm not going to metagame accidentally. I'm trying. Oh, I guess I already did.
You already did a little bit.
Well,
You know what?
That wasn't a slight at you at all. Like, I'm just stuck in an alley.
It's hard to know what I know and don't know because I don't have access to the.
Yeah, it's always easier if you guys are like together.
Yeah,
and like splitting up makes it hard to like remember like what.
I mean, me like I felt like I kind of just had to jump somewhere. Otherwise, I'm just by myself for 3 days, and that doesn't seem. It
would have been reasonable that, given that you were all going to go on the trip together, that you would know where Doogie was staying and would go there with a lack of something else better to do.
Okay, good.
Okay. I do want to check out in the alleyway. Like, I want to see if there are any like, because obviously there's a stranger in that house, and I want to see if maybe there were like anything that was like thrown away into like the garbage out here or like the dumpster or something to like find like hard evidence that he was there, like bandages or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not just
Yeah. You were pretty successful in looking through everything earlier. I will say that conspicuously there isn't any trash.
There's no trash.
In there, you open it and there's nothing inside.
Interesting. Is there, and this flat, it's just like a one, I guess, like a single story flat?
Yeah, there's a bunch in like the adjoining rooms. Yeah, but they're all like little single story.
Okay. Does it look like it would have been connected to like another, to like where they could have possibly moved from one to another, like a duplex almost?
It's possible, but it doesn't really look like there's any like obvious connective tissue between any of you.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Is there any other I guess evidence that this like maybe this man claims he lives there, so is there like I don't know, like toys in like the yard or something like that, he would like have a child or something like that? Or I'm just trying to establish.
There isn't really a yard at all. There's like a little patch of grass, but it's not what you would call a yard at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's kind of no identifying features outside. There's not even a welcome mat. There's just kind of nothing.
And I'm definitely in the right place.
You are where you remember you were.
And it was just that morning, correct?
It's only been probably, I guess, like 6 hours now.
Jeez. Okay. I'm not gonna press it here. I'm gonna head back to my place, I guess.
Okay.
Gosh, I really want to meet up with everyone else, but I have no reason to go there.
Okay. I'll say it would be, again, it would be reasonable that you might meet up with everybody. We can retcon it and say that, like, eventually, like, the rest of you felt like going.
I mean, it makes sense that if you're out of Leeds, you would go to the hotel that you know that myself and Adam are staying at.
Okay.
I don't think Adam is not staying there because Adam lives in the city. But
yeah, you're the gumshoe, right? Like I would probably come to him with this.
Yeah, and you know he's staying there.
Okay, so then I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm still hiding behind my paper.
Car, you go and you check the bar first, Sing, as you're a bartender and have kind of a sense about Dickie a little bit. And lo and behold, everybody's there.
Oh, it's a relief to see you lot there.
Connor, my good man, come take a load off with us.
Counselor, it's always outstanding to see you, sir.
Well, the pleasure is all ours.
Indeed.
What are you drinking there?
Oh, have you tried the Seagrams before?
Straight gin. Very manly.
Seagrams on the rocks, my good fellow.
Oh yes, that's quite a.
Very stiff, one could say.
That's a good one there you have. I'll order a drink from the bar and then judge him as he's making it.
The bartender, he's pretty good. He's not up to your standards.
I give him some pointers.
Yeah, he does everything right, but it doesn't quite have the right flair, you know. He's not quite slapping basil correctly.
Just spank it, not slap.
Yeah. Sorry, spank it. He didn't spank it correctly.
Yeah.
I give him some pointers, and then I say thank you for the drink.
All right.
So I share with them that I wanted to go back and check up on the doctor to see how he was, and there's actually someone who's there who claims that that's where he lives, like that's his residence. And I described the man, which actually I didn't get a good description from him, of him, but generic bandit guy.
Yeah, he seemed a little like rough around the edges, a little bit. He seemed pretty irritated at you being there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a scowling guy.
Yeah, I relay that to them, and also I note that I thought that there may be like garbage or something, but there's nothing. Like it's cleaned out, so like there's absolutely no evidence that the doctor was ever there. And I asked, what do you make of it?
Well, we do have the finest trash collection here in London.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, of course, yes. At least in my district.
Some of the streets can be a little dingy. That's why I voted for you. You said you were going to clean this town.
They call me the trash man for a reason.
Yes, I do remember that on your campaign slogan.
And I'm trying, like, belligerently to draw Dickie into the conversation as well. Isn't that right, chum? Slapping him on the shoulder behind his newspaper.
Oh, I didn't see you there behind your tall
I
newspaper.
just lower the paper down to the level of my eyes. I just kind of look left and right and then put it back up. I don't. Just a lack of trash. It doesn't sound fairly sinister. It sounds like a doctor's trying to cover his tracks.
But for there to be someone else who claims to have residence there.
Well, am I correct in assuming that a doctor is a man of some financial resources?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's pretty well-to-do.
Wouldn't take much for me to pretend to live in a house. Just
Say that again.
I said it wouldn't take much money to convince me to be an actor pretending to live in a house for a little while.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think we should assume the worst. This might just be a case of the doctor going into hiding.
Oh, okay.
You'd be surprised what you can find looking through people's trash, which I'm assuming was your instinct. And that would explain why he wanted to get rid of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Sorry, that didn't really add anything to the conversation.
No, but that kind of makes me feel better. Out of game.
Well, even if the worst has happened, there's no reason for us not to get on that train still. I mean, we already took his money.
I agree.
Connor, if you look at the bar, you can see that they were looking at a newspaper. So you have been shared on the other newspaper as well.
Oh, a newspaper.
It's a hot new thing.
That it is. I'm gonna read this real quick.
It's short.
Wait, send it to me. Send it to me.
I did, but because you're not.
You can't take a photo.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot this word.
So am I correct in assuming that we should not tell the Sergeant Rigby that Dr. Smith hired us for this? Guys?
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
I would assume we would. I tried to keep it as much under wraps as I could.
Okay. Because I'm very much honest, and I probably would have inadvertently said something. So,
I think
Yeah.
if you know more, that might be the most prudent avenue.
okay. All right, makes sense. Oh man.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys like to do today? It's starting to get late now. Is there anything you'd like to do today, or do you just want to go back to your various residences and wait for tomorrow?
I'm good. I can wait until even when we get to the train, unless there's something else y'all want to do as a group.
I'm starting to feel uneasy about the any public knowledge of my involvement with all this. So rather than going back to my home, I see if there's a room available in the hotel.
And if there's what?
If there's a room available in this hotel.
Hey, Councilman, if you want to disguise, I could help you out. I'm pretty handy with moulage.
Oh, are you?
It's a skill.
I'll take you up on that offer.
Okay. Are you want to do that right now?
I mean, we can do this later.
If you go to the hotel manager, you could pretty easily find a room in the hotel. They're not booked up or anything.
I mean, we could, yeah. It's an option.
Yeah, money is no object. So I'll take the room they have.
Okay.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Okay. So you were at a room in the hotel. You got it now.
I mean, unless Adam, unless you have any ideas, I'm gonna say that I could do you up with like hair coloring and like a big fake beard.
Well, I've always wanted my hair to be colored again because I
Okay.
here.
Yeah,
So
man, we can make you like a redhead with some white streaks, big handlebar mustache, put on like 30 pounds around the midsection of pillows.
Ooh.
Oh, you know I'm very careful about my figure, but the rest sounds golden.
Okay, Dickie, why don't you give me a roll, right? That's
I am nervous because someone else is depending on me now. So, can we both do this role, or can he assist in some way?
Yeah, he can assist on it. And what we'll do for assisting, and it would be reasonable that he'd be able to help you out with that. We'll add a D10 to whatever. We'll subtract a D10 from whatever you roll. Okay.
Oh, good success anyway.
Didn't matter. Yeah, you were pretty successful. And in fact, hold on. Yeah, you made what is it? Pretty darn good costume there. You would be hard pressed to, unless you were really, really looking closely or very, very observant, you would not be able to tell that it was the same person.
Oh, sweet! I did a thing.
You can click like disguise to remember you because you successfully rolled it. I
just put the check mark in the box.
Yeah, it's just to remind us that at the end of like this module we'll level of that.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay.
Brian, it's not in my inventory. I do want to make sure I have a handgun before we get on the train, like something that I can conceal.
Yeah, you've been carrying one in a shoulder holster for this entire time.
Okay, because I don't have it's not under my weapons, so can I talk to you about that later, about how to add that on and what the damage it should roll?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so it's getting kind of late now. You guys have been there at the bar for a little bit, swapping stories about what happened in the day. Katie, are you going to go back to your hotel? You'd only planned to stay for the day, so it wouldn't be totally unreasonable for you to get a new room here if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I might call back to the other hotel and have them bring my luggage and belongings over, so I would stay at the Chelsea Arms instead.
Okay, yeah, they can do that for you. So that'll be all set up for you. Okay, so presumably everybody sort of heads out for their room to do their own.
No, I guess I go home. I'm not going to get a room here.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But you don't. Again, this is all pretty close because this is all in the same general vicinity. So your trip is not that far. Okay, so everybody wakes up the next morning. As usual, the newspaper lands on your doorstep. The big headline today. Yeah, big headline today looks like this.
Doom Train newspaper.
Maybe just read it. Can you read it to me? Is it very long? Or?
Yeah, it's a little bit long. I'll take another photo.
Is that Wally behind you? Is he good?
Yeah.
Is he the greatest?
Fine. I wouldn't say that. Is that readable, Katie?
Has it come through?
Oh, it's taking a second. There it goes.
And we do not know of Henry Stanley yet. We know nothing about him, right?
You could. You have not heard that name thus far, but you could give me an occult roll.
Occult?
Occult, yeah.
Does anyone else want to participate in this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Joe, you don't know anything. Adam, you don't know anything either.
Oh, let me. What is it?
Occult.
Can you roll for me, or would that be tricky since you don't have my stats?
I can do it. Okay, Katie, you actually do recognize the name. Not you don't recognize
Mr. Stanley?
Hold on. Oh no, never mind. No, you don't recognize the name at all.
I failed on that roll.
Yeah, okay. So I'll remind everybody, London's still a big city. You have access to plenty of locations that we haven't talked about. It is pretty common for people to do library research if you felt like it. Check public records. You could visit any of the locations have addresses that have been mentioned. There's a lot of things open to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Y'all go ahead.
I was just gonna go back to the hotel, to y'all's hotel, to bring you. Yeah, bring you breakfast in bed.
All
Oh. Is there any way that I could go back to the house where my colleague was?
Professor Smith?
Yeah, Professor Smith. Dr.
That's the one I told you about.
But could I go back like by myself just to look at it? I don't want to die.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I would like talk someone into going with me, because God, I still have like flashbacks of Dan Third dying.
Dan Third.
Okay, I know what I would do. Okay, so maybe I go and knock on Ebenezer's door because I know he has access to a car, and I say, "Would you mind accompanying me to taking one more look at the place where
Professor Smith
was?"
Yeah. Okay.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I stumbled my way to the door, a bit hungover.
And next door, there's a baby.
I would have brought him a coffee and said, "I know you may not be up for it, but would you consider possibly accompanying me to the residence where we saw Dr. Smith last? I just want to have one last look around, make sure we didn't miss anything."
Of course. Say no more as I twirl my newfound mustache.
Okay, so you guys, I presumably you ring up Alfred, and he takes you directly over to the little hovel that you remember Professor Smith had out, and you because again remember Zelda, you actually still have the address that he gave you, so you're pretty sure you're at the right place.
Yeah. So we're there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I proceed to walk inside.
No, it's the door is closed.
Oh, I knock on the door, but nobody's there, right?
You knock on the door, and opening the door, you see sort of like a middling height gentleman with like black slick back hair, and he's like wearing like a white t-shirt basically, and like some slacks. He's like, "Hey, what do you want?"
Hi, I'm looking for Dr. Smith.
I don't know Dr. Smith. Do I look like a doctor to you?
No, indeed you do not, but I met with him previously at this residence.
Okay, you're like the second person in 2 days to do that. I don't know who this is.
Who? Interesting. Who else has been here?
I don't know. Another man?
Another man? Did he seem
Irish?
police-like?
Did he seem what?
Did he seem police-like or Irish? Did he seem like he makes a good drink?
I don't know, but he was an Irish guy. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Like,
All right.
do you need anything?
Yes. Would you mind if I used your bathroom really quick?
I do very much. Yes, I do mind.
Oh, please, sir. When levels, you do understand.
Yeah, I understand that you're bothering me, and he closes the door.
Okay, so because I'm just curious, I kind of sneak around to the back and see if I can look in. Is there an outside-facing window to the room where we saw the professor in?
Yeah. Actually, there was a side little window.
Could I peek in that window?
Sure. The room looks basically the same. You see the chair that you remember Dr. Smith sitting in. You can see the cold little stove. It's still sort of bare, but everything looks basically the way you remember it.
Do I hear anything? Can I listen?
You see that the guy just met sort of, but he's not talking to anybody or anything.
Can I check the mailbox?
Sure. There's no like actual mailbox for that individual unit. If you walk down the street a little bit, there's sort of a joint one, and they're all locked.
Could I unlock it someplace?
You have lock picking?
I have a hair.
You what?
I have a hair.
Okay. Yeah, you can try to pick the lock. You didn't put any in it, so.
How do you know? How do you know?
You did not pick that lock. The hairpin breaks off in the lock, and you're
okay. So I
Ebenezer. Oh yeah, he's there.
any chance you
I suppose I can try, but I have a bad feeling about this. So reluctantly, and knowing that I don't know what I'm doing, I reach the lock and give it a lock.
Yeah, you try and pick the lock with like a tie pin you have in your pocket, but that hairpin is now pretty stuck in there. There's just no way you're getting it open now.
Did you two just break a random stranger's door?
It wasn't me, it was my alternate.
wait, what?
Am I the only one who's hearing an echo?
No, I hear.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear pretty bad echo.
Then Brian, it must be.
I didn't change anything.
But if you don't hear the echo, and we all hear the echo, wouldn't that be?
Possibly.
I don't know, I'm getting it too.
Is it still happening?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
You have to say something.
Testing.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brian's muted.
now.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check on the Roll20 and make sure you don't have that active, like the little emblem active. It'll be under the settings.
That reminds me, where's our
What?
sound check?
Oh yeah. For whatever reason, it wouldn't work. Like I couldn't hear it, even though. Okay, is it still going?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
me try. That's why I was trying to wear these. And let's see this little.
Do your Beats headphones not have a little speaker thing? Your Beats, the wire that hooks to them, it doesn't have a speaker thing?
Oh,
It seems to be.
Oh no! See, this just I could hear for like a second, and then it cuts out.
That seems to be
So
okay
weird.
for me now.
Yeah, it's not echoing.
Weird. Yay, technology.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't get those to work. With this.
You can try mine.
No.
The echo's gone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Whatever works. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
We were just twice unsuccessful in picking that stranger's
No,
lock.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're
Yes.
Maybe we should get out of here, Zelda.
I think you're right. Let's head out. Let's head back to the hotel, maybe.
We scurry back to Alpha.
here? Yeah. So you guys head back to the hotel. You're all there now.
I finally make it to the hotel, I guess, because I'm walking there.
Okay.
That's what I do. I walk places. And I want to go and get a hold of Dickie.
Okay. So,
So,
you know where his room is. You all spot that information, so you can go straight up there.
Crazy.
Dickie! Are you all right in there? This sounds like quite a commotion.
I answered the door. I would say it takes me like 3 minutes to answer the door.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I go down the hallway.
I'd say it takes me like 3 minutes to open the door when he does it. He's fully dressed and kind of flustered looking.
I didn't hear you at all, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you said it took you 3 minutes to what?
I would say it takes 3 minutes for Dickie to answer the door, and when he does, he looks kind of put out,
Oh.
like genuinely irritated. God damn it.
Irritable?
Yeah, that. Like, hi, I wasn't expecting you today.
Yeah, did you see the paper? There's something about our man being gone or something, or we kind of recap the paper basically.
What?
The paper. Did you not read the? Oh, and I guess I looked down and have you gotten the paper yet?
I'd say yes, but that article, like, this is out of character. That article had nothing to do with our professor, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
well then,
So
never
I'm
mind.
kind of at a loss. Like, I don't know what article you're talking about.
I thought I got so out of character. Like I got my names mixed up.
Okay, so are you still here?
I probably wouldn't bother you then.
Okay. That was fun. Good little exercise there.
Yeah, it was.
And see.
I probably want to go to after reading that. I kind of want to go check out, I guess, a place where I could get public records. I'm looking for something on Mr. Thurston.
Person?
So, like, if I could go to like the library or another. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You want info on who?
Mr. Temple Thurston, who died in 1919.
Oh.
I want details on that.
Okay. Okay. So yes, you go to the local public records, and you can find. Actually, the city public records doesn't really have anything about him because he's not from London. So you don't find anything about him.
Brian, is this information we should have as well, or is Andrew doing his own thing?
You do have it.
Shit.
Okay, I guess if nothing's there, then I'll read up on the London Train Spotters Association.
Okay. The London Train Spotters Association has been, well, actually, again, sorry, you went to like the public records department.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a. What would be the role for this?
Library use?
Yeah, I think that's close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't find anything.
I don't know how to use a library. Dewey Decimal
Yeah.
system has failed me. I find a children's book instead.
With pictures.
On trains, on choo-choos.
Yeah.
The wheels on the bus.
Everything you wanted to know about trains, but we're too afraid to ask. I find.
Okay. Zelda and Ebenezer, what are you guys doing?
So we went back to the hotel. I guess it's too early for us to get another drink.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
It's never too early.
It's like 9 a.m. So
Oh, okay. Well,
probably too early.
So Bloody Mary.
Some Baileys, yeah. Some coffee, Baileys and coffee.
alcoholics.
I asked Zelda her thoughts on this morning's story.
It is disturbing.
Yeah, I'm torn. On the one hand, I suppose I could talk to some people in my office to get more information on these individuals, but then again, after the events of the past couple of days, I don't know if I want to
Draw more attention, to yourself.
draw any more attention.
That makes sense. I wish I had access to some sort of contacts here. I'm not familiar with the area. I'm not from here. The police and people seem to just have it out for me.
Well, you know how they are with Americans here.
It's true. It's true. Yes. I don't know. Should we retire to our rooms and then be up for dinner?
It's a late day. Or that's
I know. He's the only person I know, and he has a car, and he's a congressman. I mean,
I do have a car. Do you know anyone else who is a member of this London Train Spotters Association?
do I?
From your circles?
Do I?
You're not from here. You don't even really know what that is.
No, I'm not familiar with that crowd.
Would I know anybody from the bar who would be in it?
I don't think you would.
Okay.
The Train Spotters Association aren't really going out type people.
What else else is in here? I'm gonna head back to the hotel. See if I can find them. I don't want to like run around alone anymore.
Okay. You head back to the hotel. All right. Is there anything else anybody else would like to follow up on, or?
Yeah, I want to. God damn it! I'm not revealing this to you people in character, so no metagaming. I want to see if I can
type it to me if you'd like, Joe. You can like send me like a direct message or something.
Yeah, text him.
Fuck, I'll just do it on Facebook because I don't like Roll20. I would like to see if who I am can get me access to the Makriat crime scene. Like, if I call my headquarters and be like, look, I'm going to try and pull a bluff, and I need you to back me up if they check my credentials.
Okay. So you want to head to the crime scene in the hotel? In
my hotel, yes.
Okay. So you head to the floor that you know the Makriat, the crime scene beyond, and there's just sort of a duty officer standing in front.
Sorry, I'm typing what I specifically want to do. So, sorry.
Okay.
Am I at the hotel yet?
Okay, Joe, go ahead and give me. I guess you would have identification.
Yeah, and this is not technically a bluff.
Yeah,
it's just a misuse of my power.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me. Go ahead and give me a fast talk roll then.
Oh fuck. All right, so that's a fail.
Okay. The officer he says, you're gonna have to. You're really gonna have to go talk to the inspector.
Fuck. And that roll was actually a lot better than I was expecting. Okay, well then I'm going to try a different tack. I'll try and contact the inspector that caught us at the crime or at the professor's manor, and tell him that I'm on a case, which I technically am.
Okay. The guy you met at the Burt building is actually is a different guy. It's my bad because I mixed up the names earlier. So the police officer you met at the burnt down house is Inspector Rigby. He's an arson investigator. Inspector Fleming, you have not met, but you've seen his name in the papers as connected to the Makriat case.
Okay, then I would like to. Fuck. Can I just call the station? Why am I being lazy? It's a fucking game. I'm gonna go try and find Fleming and present my case.
Okay. So you go ahead and take a taxi to Scotland Yard, and you give all this information to the front desk guy. He says, "Yeah, okay, I'll call Fleming for you." So
I'm assuming Makriat. That's a Turkish name, right?
You don't know.
No prior knowledge. I just know it sounds like a brown person. Racist.
sounds vaguely foreign to you.
Yeah. A Turkish individual?
So that's what I'm going on. It's the thinnest of leads, but...
Okay. Why don't we... Golly, yeah, it's hard to do this. I wonder if I can like mute everyone else to our conversation because it'd be easier to do this in...
I don't mind them seeing all of it. I just don't want them to know that one specific part.
Yeah. So I guess everybody else, if you want to just sort of like
not listen.
Just make sure you don't know this. Like
okay.
You don't know this. Okay. So Fleming comes out, and he's sort of a tall guy. He's a little disheveled. He looks tired to you. His hair is really cut short and is sort of salt peppery.
Okay.
He says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
I offer my hand, and I'm trying to be respectful. So I'm not trying to do fast talk or anything. I offer my hand and say, Inspector, my name is shit.
Richard Bassett.
I'm Detective Richard Bassett with my organization. I tell him the name.
Sure.
And I tell him that I've been hired on by Professor
Smith.
Smith.
and that I'm looking into a lead related to his case because he's recently been founded by yada yada yada, and I'm looking into the deaths of these 3 men as a related aspect of my case.
That's quite interesting, I think. Let's yeah, that's an interesting angle on the two cases. Who hold on, let me look into who's the lead on the other case. And he goes and he talks to the he goes back to the back, presumably to look that up real quick.
Okay. Before he does, I want to offer my help as well, something that could benefit both of us. Like, if I can ID one of those bodies as one of the guys who was at the professor's speech,
yeah,
I'd be more than happy to go and help however I could.
Yeah, look, I'll have to talk to my sergeant honestly because this, if I'm being frank about it, this case has me baffled, and I think honestly I could use the help. Let me.
When you say bedeviled, do you mean first, or do
No,
you just mean
it has me baffled.
You still okay?
Yes.
I think
So, let me.
Still a little skittish from.
I laid it on a little thick there, accent-wise. Let me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I actually have to use the restroom.
All right.
Oh yeah. Can we take 5?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Intermission.
I'm good and back when everybody else is.
Well, I'm good.
I am. So yeah, basically that's how I come to the professor. I'm trying to legitimately help his investigation and see if there's a lead for the guys who were stalking Smith.
Okay. So after a couple, he leaves, and after a couple minutes, he says, "Like, okay, your credentials they check out. Let's we can go ahead and put our heads together on this one, and I'll let you know everything that I know. We're pretty scant on God, my Scottish accent's bad. We're pretty scant on details. So there were 3 of them. Each one found in a different hotel room.
This hotel?
No. Yeah, the Chelsea Arms was one. There were 2 others. Each one of them was we found in their pockets. They each had identification identifying them as Mr. Macriat, and they also had a telegram sent to all of them. They all read, "Meet me in London at once, urgent M," which we assume. I'm not really sure who the M in that case stands for. We have some ideas, but it's most curious. The sort of gruesome part that we didn't mention in each one of the bodies had been skinned. One of them was skinned from the torso up. One had his arms skinned, and the other one had his legs completely skinless. It was horrible.
But the faces were still intact.
Not on the one. On the other 2, yes.
Can I see them?
Yes, we have some photos if you think you can hold your lunch.
Sure.
So he goes and he calls to one of the duty officers to bring the photos out. And obviously this is 23, so they're grainy and black and white. But yeah, you can clearly see where in each case the skin has been removed from the locations that they detailed. Each man is wearing a suit, or is except for the area. So like the man who has his legs skinned, like doesn't have any pants on. The man who has his arms skinned isn't wearing a shirt or anything. The 2 that you can see their faces don't really look anything alike to you. They look like completely different men.
And neither of them look like the guy I saw.
They're both dark-skinned with like dark hair, but they're clearly not the same man.
Shit. Shit. Okay. Well, sorry, Inspector.
Do you have anything for me then?
Trying to decide how much I want to tell. I will tell him that the last time that I saw Smith, he had been badly injured, and his face it was burned, right? Could we tell?
Yeah, he looked burned to you. His skin was like blackened in places, and
I'd say
had that kind of like glossy, charred look to it.
Yeah. The last time I saw Smith, his face was half burned off, and he's gone into hiding. I haven't been able to make contact to find him. Unfortunately, neither of those 2 men are the guy that was at his gala, professor's presentation that night. So I'm afraid I don't have much to add, other than the professor running scared.
When was the last time you saw the professor?
Immediately after the Jesus Christ, what the fuck is the word?
Gala?
Gala. Immediately following the gala, he was badly injured and
So
talking crazy.
you saw him that night then? What time was this?
I tell him the time.
Okay, because you actually saw him the next day.
Oh fuck,
It was the next morning.
my bad. I tell him that. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if you were intentionally lying or not. Okay, so I think that's pertinent because all the people we've talked to, they haven't seen him since the
No.
gala. Was there anyone else with him?
His man was with him, but I don't remember his name, and frankly,
Beddoes, was it?
maybe.
Was he?
Bad shape. I've seen men with smaller wounds go down pretty quick, so who knows if the professor's even still alive.
Okay, if the man is who I think it was, do you remember the location that they were at? Where did you meet them?
Shit. I do. I met them at some house. I didn't drive there, so I'm not particularly sure.
Do you remember the neighborhood?
Do I have the address? Because
Yeah, you have the address on that
I
card.
legitimately rode with Adam, so I did not.
You still have the. Actually, you went yourself because you guys weren't together at that point. You do have a card that has the address on the back.
That's true. We all met each other.
Okay. How deep do I want to let him go? Get involved.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I said I was going to be earnest, so I give him the card.
Okay. You can see he's sort of furiously taking notes on what you've given him.
And you were worried about me telling everybody secrets.
I'm talking to a cop. You're talking to fucking bartenders and dudes in undershirts.
So you suspect that my dead Turks have something to do with this disappearance.
Well, as I said in the beginning, it was thin. I was hoping. Frankly, I'm fairly bedeviled as well. I mean, how many Turks up to mischief could there be in London at one time?
I would think not that many is like any connection. Okay, I'll have to follow up on this.
Okay, that's fuck, man. Is there any chance I could poke around the crime scene back at my hotel?
Sure, I think it'll be fine. We got everything that we need from there, so we can. I can tell the duty officer to let you in.
Much obliged. And at this point, I would take my leave, and I guess I probably would reach out to the others to involve them. Maybe they
Okay.
could more eyes, et cetera.
Sure. Okay, so you head back to the hotel then. Everybody's kind of hanging around the bar.
Okay.
I'm showing that bartender a couple of my moves. Show him how to roll properly. Got to really get your elbow in there.
I walk up behind him and I don't even say hello. I just say, "Leave that poor bastard alone. Come with me. I got your present." And then I present myself to the duty officer and presumably go inside.
The dude, he tells you that you can go inside, but he wasn't told about everybody else. He doesn't know who these people are.
Shit.
Oh, surely you wouldn't mind letting the three of us in and accompanying. It's it won't be we won't be any trouble. We'll be quiet as a mouse.
You're super not helping.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Thank you. That's what I want to do.
Fuck.
Not you. I'm doing it. I'm talking to him.
I'm going to talk to him as well, because...
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
He says,
I thought I pressed charm.
I pressed turn. You failed.
Oh.
Let me talk to him, please.
Jesus Christ.
He says, you know, you seem pretty harmless. Just don't touch anything, okay? Like, I need this job.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. We won't. You won't even know we were here. I give him a wink and we walk in.
Jesus Christ.
When you walk in, it looks like all of the other hotel rooms. There's like a queen size bed. You see the side tables, a lamp. It's all pretty standard hotel stuff. There's like a tape outline on the floor where in the shape of a body, which where you assume the body had been before.
Okay. Guess let's investigate. Spot hidden.
Yep.
Can we all do it?
Sure. Everybody there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked for the three of us to get it.
I agree.
Okay, so Zelda and Dickie, you guys give the place a pretty thorough shakedown. But it doesn't look like there's anything in the room that's out of the ordinary. You find a Bible in the nightstand. The various. It looks like the soap has been used, but it's not like there's any information there. You don't really see anything that piques your interest.
Fuck. That's all I got. I'm out.
Like, are we missing something obvious? I feel like we are. Are we?
What's under the bed?
It might. Are you fucking kidding me, Andrew? Look under the bed. Wow.
There, you've already done that, and there's something under there.
Okay, sorry.
It's a little dusty. It doesn't look like anything. No, you're giving me the classic like King's Quest type like. Oh, there. I mentioned a bed. There's probably something under the bed.
I don't know.
Okay.
I failed my roll, so I'm just like that's where I would be looking because I obviously am looking in the wrong place.
Okay, but no, but
Are
it's
there
like
locks I can fail to pick?
No, it's all open. It looks like at the very least anything interesting, i.e., like the body itself has been taken by the police.
fuck, man, I got nothing else.
What position is the outline in? Like, is it crawled out? Like, what's the chalk outline?
Yeah. It's down on the ground, and it is sort of your basic like you sort of like spread out like arms and like spread out from body a little bit. It's not like in like a weird contorted spot. It's like just laid out.
Got it.
Are there any maids walking the hallways?
Not currently.
How did he die? Do we know that?
He was flayed.
You have no idea.
Okay.
The duty officer is sort of looking at you guys like, you guys done?
Oh no! At this point, we didn't find anything. Let's leave.
Yeah, we're out.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys are leaving the duty, I'm saying, he's like, yeah, this was a weird one.
Weird Out. What'd you see?
I didn't see anything, just what they've told me, but like dude had his skin ripped off. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that sounds downright gruesome.
Yeah, no, that's pretty horrible. I don't know what it is with all these like Turkish people doing stuff in the city the past couple of days, but I don't know.
What other Turks have you come across?
Well, just the three guys all named Makriad or whatever.
Well, thanks. Appreciate the courtesy.
Sure.
I got nothing else, guys.
Can do.
If y'all have any ideas.
Do you think? Kind of want to ask him about like that spontaneous combustion, like if he was around for that case. Wait, so okay, hold on. Is Dartford Kent not in London?
I don't think so.
Okay, because now I'm not going to ask him that because that would be silly.
I don't know London that well.
I don't know where Kent is, or okay. Never mind.
I thought Kent was in that city. I'm looking it up. This is where my lack of knowledge about Europe is. Okay, it's close, but it's not. It wouldn't be considered London.
There wouldn't really be a connection to ask him about this, I don't think.
Because Kent is like the next county.
Honestly, guys, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know what else to do other than wait for the train.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too.
Okay.
Bar's open.
Yeah, it is.
That's true. All right. If there's nothing else you guys would like to investigate, we can just skip to. I guess you could just sort of like hang around for because all you have is this is what day is it? We're on Friday. The train leaves Sunday. So basically, you'll just be hanging around Saturday, and I guess we can call it there for today. If everybody would like to check the skills that they were successful on.
Oh shit! I have another one.
Record of last time. What skills we were successful on last time?
I have what I had already marked, but
Yeah, because I think we sort of went back and checked it.
Okay.
Let's we can look at it.
Oh, I see. Oh man, I can just look back through the chat.
Yeah, you can do that too. That's a good way to do it.
so what if I have charm twice? Because I was successful my first session and then successful this session.
Yeah, it's only going to count the one time.
Okay.
So it'll just be check marked until I decide like enough time has passed that you can like improve upon that skill. And probably what I'll do is like at the end of each like module is when we'll do our like level up. And so this is the end of the first module is what this is.
Okay, so only half kidding. Can I check a box for stealth and listen when I was eavesdropping on Adam's conversation? If
yeah,
not, totally fair.
No, I'm fine with that because those are things you tried to do in character and were successful at. Despite the fact that like you did it in a jokey way, you were still successful at it. So I would call that an improvement. So basically, what you're going to do is we can do one for somebody just as a like Joe. We can do your disguise one just as an example, and then everybody can kind of do them on their own. So anyone that you checkmarked, what you want to do is roll a D100, and the way to do that in the chat or whatever, you just type /roll space 1D100. Yeah, just like that. So for any, so for instance, Joe, if we'll do, I won't take that roll. You can roll another dedicated roll. So what you want to do is for any of the skills that you're successful on, and I would just go do them in alphabetical order so you don't get mixed up with what you're doing. So Joe, for your, let's say your disguise, because that's the first one that you were successful with, you'd roll the D100. You want it to be more than your skill. So if you roll more than a 50, which is what your skill is at, then you're successful at improving yourself. So there you go. So you rolled a 76. That's more than the 50. So that means your disguise skill has improved. So you'll roll a D10 / roll 1D10. And you can increase that skill by 6.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
So now your skill is at 56.
Do I get the credit for being the object of disguise, or does only Joe get credit for making the disguise?
Because Joe was the one carrying that out, and you only assisted, it would only count for him.
Sorry, Ming.
I just thought I should check.
Do I uncheck the disguise box or do I leave it checked?
Go ahead and uncheck it.
Okay.
Because now next time, if you do disguise again, then you would be able to improve it again.
Sweet.
Oh no, I clicked the wrong one.
And I'll just do this with Katie one-on-one later when we actually figure out what her skills are.
25. So I failed, so I will not level up my listen skill, and I still just uncheck the box.
Yeah, you still uncheck it.
Okay.
Because then, like the next time, if you successfully listen, you'll have an opportunity to do it again.
My psychology is checked for some reason. Did I do something psychological last?
Yeah, psychology is weird because psychology is more like it's this system's version of
Insight.
like D&D's Insight.
Okay.
It's basically like it's not like you know something about the academic field of psychology. It's like, do you get a sense for if this person is telling the truth or not? So you remember you did a psychology check on Beddoes when you first ran into him, and you could tell that he was like acting jittery and nervous.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. Fuck all these rolls.
That sucks because like normally you want to roll low like that, and
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go because my family is here, so I should probably go.
Yeah.
But thank you, Brian. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I know this one was a little bit weird, and I'll try to do a little bit next time, trying to lay on, because so a big part of this particular like campaign is sort of investigative work.
Yeah.
So I'll see if I can do better, like kind of lay it on a little bit thicker, like what your options are. Like for instance, in this one, and I can just go ahead and tell you because we've decided to skip over it. But like in the first newspaper, it gave you the address for Makriat's shop, so you could have gone there.
God damn it.
Shit.
There is anybody could have gone to the library to look up information about him or about any of the other people. You could have gone to Joe did good. You got a lot of information out of Inspector Fleming, so that was good. That going to Scotland Yard was a good way to do that. I think it's one of those like it probably again because this system's different than others. Like it's hard getting used to like what you can and can't do. But there's like, for instance, I have info about what would happen if you went to the Turkish embassy.
Oh.
So like that was something you could have done. And I know that seems like a weird out of the blue type option because I didn't mention the Turkish embassy at all, but that's kind of like where our thinking's at.
Okay.
I think like the shop would have been like the most obvious thing to go do because like so you had the address.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see if I can't. Yeah, because that time I kept trying to find ways to like work in like little bits of information just in random conversations, but I wasn't doing a great job at finding those little those opportunities. So I'll see if I can do better next time. Kind of make sure all that is tidied up. I kind of knew this one would be a little bit weird, given that it was mostly going to be on y'all to like decide where to go.
Yeah.
And because I didn't have outside of like the other newspaper, I didn't have any like obvious like characters coming to y'all for stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That makes more sense. Now we kind of have an idea of where we should be aiming for.
yeah. And like I say, you guys did good kind of connecting. I mean, they sort of laid it on a little bit thick with all the newspaper articles, kind of connecting the two things. But yeah, it's a lot about this game, and I think it'll be easier as it goes on once we sort of get used to how the kind of investigative nature of this works. But yeah, it's a weird thing to have to like come up with locations out of the blue. And yeah, I was like really looking for a way to like drop in the Turkish embassy somewhere because like I don't think I would ever thought to go there, but that was a place you could go to. But you guys hit most of the stuff outside of the shop. You guys hit about everywhere else. So
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the prep work.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Luckily, most of it's already there for me. But I need to sit work on my voice a little bit. I was fading in and out of those.
It can't be as bad as my Irish accent.
No, I mean honestly, yours is. It's consistent. And that's what matters.
Bad.
So yeah, I mean, I was going from like, like one sentence I'd hit Scottish pretty good. I was like, oh, that was a good sentence, and then like the next sentence I'm a Russian guy for no reason. So, I was sort of in and out of that. I need to work on that stuff, like in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to like switch back and forth. I kept like trying to find my British guy again, and I couldn't find it. Like, so I was just like, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna talk. Like, so I need to practice a little bit. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for sort of bearing with that one, guys. Like I said, I know that one was kind of a weird one, and I thought it might be, but we'll see where we get to next time.
No, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll talk to you all later.
All right, talk to you later, man.
Yeah,
good seeing you guys.
Yeah, good to see you too.
You all.
I'll send everybody a chat. I'll try not to make it like 2 months next time.
No problem. And I'll let you. Once this is all done buffering and everything, I'll send it to you, Brian's.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, Joe.